So I can't wait to show you today the new releases from Lisa Eldridge. I have her new skin tint and 3 of her new lip pencils just launched this week. And I also have the 2 new shades of blush from Haus, which I'll be showing you at the end. I'm going to do a full try on of all of this for you and to check in this evening so you can see how this is wearing on me. I've got mature skin, so it'll be interesting to see how this corrects possibly my redness and settles into possible fine lines, exaggerates texture, that sort of thing. So be really interested to see how the lip pencil and the skin tint works on my mature skin. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah, I'm 47, I'm not a professional, just somebody who loves makeup, and I just love to share with you any beauty news, tips, looks, anything that might interest you. If you think you'd enjoy that, please do like and subscribe below, it really does help my channel. And if you just comment, even just to say hello, whatever, anything like that really does help my channel to get boosted. Really getting hard to get seen on YouTube lately. Anyway, let's get on to the video. And I forgot to mention my skin. I've got fair to light skin with a neutral undertone. I've got combination skin with mostly dry, but I do have a bit of an oily T-zone area. So here is Lisa's Seamless Skin Enhancing Tint, and here's some more information about the product. Described as a fresh, luminous, light coverage tint in a feel-good formula made of 78% skincare ingredients. This unique formula works to seamlessly even tone, lift shadows, tone down redness and boost luminosity. An ultra lightweight texture delivers a burst of hydration while simultaneously delivering blurring pigments to perfect and even the skin tone. This contains hero ingredients: glycerin, prickly pear, sunflower seed oil, squalane, salicylic acid, cocoa caprylate and vitamin E. And here's a more full list of the ingredients if you did need to see them, so you could pause now to look through those. So now let's look at the packaging, which I really like. It's like a pebble, which is how Lisa describes it, and it has this flat bottom on it, so this will sit on your counter or your shelf like this. It contains 30 ml and it's £37 and there's 18 different tones, and I've gone for T3 Neutral. It comes in a squeezy bottle, and this is what T3 Neutral looks like. An idea of the actual consistency, so it's not super runny. And for comparison, I've got Lisa's Seamless Skin Foundation here in my shade, which is shade 5, so I'll just do a comparison of the two. So here's my foundation in shade 5 and here is the skin tint in T3. They're quite close, aren't they? I just rubbed both of those off my hand, and I'm now rubbing in a little bit of skin tint into my hand just for some sort of immediate look how this might enhance skin. So here's the hand here that has the skin tint on, and here's the hand that doesn't. And I think it is quite obvious that the whole colour of this hand is more even, and also my skin, my lines are definitely showing up a bit less. So I think it's definitely doing something. Obviously we need to see this on the face. So watching Lisa's demo, she suggests using your hands is the best, saying that's the best way to apply this. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not expecting much in the way of coverage from this, but I would like it to even out the redness I've got here and give me basically a perfect skin. Wouldn't that be nice? So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit here and start rubbing this in with my hand. It's extremely lightweight, that's definitely true. It feels really, really lightweight. It feels very cooling, very pleasant. It's like one of those sort of water cream moisturisers, if you've used one of those, which I really enjoy actually. So I'm going to stick to just one side of the face so we can see the difference. I'm going to put a bit more on my nose there. And see if it's going to cancel out the redness on my nose. Well, that has definitely cancelled out the redness on my nose. Gosh, look at that. Like magic. So here is how one side of my face is looking with the first layer of the skin tint. So this is my side without. So you can see all the redness here. And you can see my pores, well I can anyway, hopefully you can see my pores quite visible here. Whereas on this side, my pores are much less visible and the redness is cancelled out. So it really has, it's perfected the appearance of pores, and my texture is not particularly being highlighted. Obviously it's not giving a lot of coverage. Just continue now to do the other side. I'm wearing no primer. I wanted to just try this today with nothing else underneath. The only thing I've got on is my skincare. So the last thing on my skin was my SPF, which was well over an hour ago now. This definitely goes on well with fingers. I don't think you need to use brushes for this. It really goes on very nicely. I think this shade is fine on me. I mean, from what I've seen from Lisa, you could go up a few shades and you'd be fine too, because it's quite a flexible shade range really when it comes to skin tints. Generally, I think that happens. You can go up and down because they're not very strong and they're not given that much coverage. But anyway, this is my face now with one full layer. And it's definitely giving that my skin but better look. The redness around my nose is just vanished. So I mean, this is absolutely ideal if you really don't want to have makeup on that day, but you just want to look better and you just want to quickly, just like with your SPF, just quickly rub it in, off you go, and your skin will look so much better. My skin tone's more even generally across the whole of my face. My pores are a bit less visible. My texture is not being exaggerated by this at all. I don't feel like I've got anything on. It's so lightweight. It just doesn't feel like anything is on my face. So yeah, I really like this. It's a very nice skin tint. I'm going to put a tiny bit more just to see if we can build up a little bit where I would like a bit of coverage. Well, it has given me a bit more coverage actually. So it can be built up a bit. I mean, it's not going to give me full coverage, obviously. This is giving me very much light coverage, but it has given me more. So you can add a bit more to certain areas, like here where I wanted more coverage, and it's definitely given me that bit more coverage. This is really impressing me, to be honest. I really like it. Now another thing I saw Lisa do, she suggested when you're going for one of those light, no makeup look days, you can actually use this as a concealer because it will correct any darkness under the eyes. Now I can see a little bit of darkness here at the moment, and I certainly have quite a bit of purple on my eyelid. So I'm going to try that today. I'm not going to put a lot on my finger. I'm going to try that here and just see what happens. I'll try one side first so we can look at the difference. I'm just putting a bit on my hand and dabbing into it with my little finger to apply this. So that's how it looks, using it as a concealer / corrector on this eyelid and underneath. So if we compare it to the two, well, it's definitely corrected a lot of the purple on the top of my eyelid if you compare. As for underneath, I don't know really if I can see much difference. I think I would need to have a little bit of concealer there. What do you think? So that's both sides now with the skin tint on the eyelid and underneath, something I've never done before with a skin tint. But I think this shows that with your fingers you can just put this everywhere, literally, obviously maybe not your eyebrows, but everywhere else, and you can really change your skin. It really is giving me a very flawless finish. I really like it. I think it's really evened out my skin tone. Whether it lasts and whether it still looks like this at the end of the day will be another matter. I'm looking forward to checking in later to show you how this looks. So I'm now going to go off camera. I'm going to complete my makeup look and then we can put the new blushes on and try the new lip pencils. So I've gone on now to do my eye makeup. I've put a little bit of bronzer on and I've powdered the T-zone, a little bit of powder here because of putting on the blushes, which is what I'll do next. So Haus Labs have basically relaunched their original blushes, but they've released 2 new shades. But what they have done is they've made them a lot smaller. Here's the original size of the blushes. They were much more bulkier and they contained more product, but these new ones are a lot smaller. They have the colour of the blush on the front. These are £11 less, they're £28. And if you compare them when open, they're basically exactly the same, just size different. So here's the first shade that I'm showing you, and this one is called Fire Moon. And this is a Beige Peach. I'll just swatch this. It's got a lovely, lovely smooth formula, this, made with fermented arnica, and it's talc free. Very, very pigmented, so be warned when applying this to go carefully. But it also contains squalane, and I think these ingredients make it really soft, so it should melt across the skin. I know that I really enjoyed the first one I showed you from a formula perspective. So using my A507 brush from BK Beauty, I'm going to literally tap and even tap off, because I'm a bit concerned about the pigment with this. I'm going to go really lightly. Maybe that was a bit too... oh, there we go. One more dab. It does actually just melt into the skin, this sort of formula. It's very, very nice. So I'm not going to go mad with this. It could be built up a lot, so if you have a darker skin tone, I think this would work really well on you. And I am just going very lightly, but I think if you look on the website you can see the images how this can really be built up to quite a powerful shade. This is a pretty shade. I can't say it's my favourite, but I do like it. I think it goes well with the sort of orange shades that I've got on at the moment. And the next new shade is called French Rosette, and this is a neutral rose. And I'm going in the same brush which I've wiped off. And I've been extremely cautious, tapping. One little dab. Definitely prefer this colour. I just realised I didn't swatch it for you. Here's how this one swatches. I definitely prefer this shade. So there we go with the second dab. Now you can see that is a lot more powerful. Will need to be worked out a lot on me. Again, this can just be built up. These really are very pigmented blushes. Neither one of them are particularly bad for my mature skin. They're not particularly showing up texture. They're not too shiny, but they do have a slightly luminous quality about them. They're very blendable and they really do melt into the skin. Lovely formula actually, really, really nice. I haven't picked up the, I think it's Pomelo Peach in this, which I really would like to. I think that shade might be one I would enjoy, but I do like this new shade. Can you see though how it was so strong just now, and I haven't done an awful lot, and it's just blended out quite easily into my skin. So yeah, really easy to work with, very pretty blush. So there's French Rosette. You compare the two, Fire Moon and French Rosette. So yeah, I do like these. They're a lovely formula. I much prefer these compacts. I think they're really pretty, and I like the fact they're more affordable because you don't need a giant size one. These will fit more nicely into handbags or when you're storing them in your drawers. I really like the colour coding. I think that's really useful. So yeah, I do like these, and I definitely preferred the rose out of the two new shades. So you can't tell now because I've put the rose on both sides, but yeah, definitely preferred the rose. But yeah, lovely formula. Not a new formula, but just checking out the new shades for you really. So anyway, let's carry on with Lisa Eldridge and the new lip pencils. So I've picked up 3 of these lip pencils. I do actually have a couple more coming, but I think this is enough for me to show you if you're trying to work out which one to get for you. So there's 10 shades of this. There's 4 neutrals, 3 cools and 3 warms. And the idea is they go up in shades. So you have 0 neutral going up to 4 neutral, and then the same with the warm and the cool. Obviously there's 3 of the other 2 and there's 4 of the neutral. And the idea of this is to try to precisely match your skin tone. Now what you can do, which is what I've done, is go for shades that you like that you might want to match with lipsticks if you want more definition around the outside of your lip. So you do want it to stand out against your lipstick, or just to colour your entire lip in fact, because they are quite creamy and you can use them for the entire lip. If you're careful in your selection, you should be able to find one that is a true match to your lips, so it will just give you those perfect lips. Like if you notice, especially now as I get older, the outside edge of my lip is losing the colour, especially here. So what would be nice is having one that would match my natural lip colour, so that I can just have my fuller lip back that I've lost with age, as the pigment is definitely worn off. So because I tend to buy neutral, because I have neutral undertones, we'll start with 1N. Now I have got 0N coming in the post, so I will let you all know in a comment. I will add it and pin it to the top of this post as soon as it arrives, and I'll let you know if it's a better match than this for me. But I'm going to test this. Now what I won't do is try lots of different ones on and wipe them off, because I'm testing this skin tint today, and if I have to keep removing and reapplying, it's not really going to be a very genuine skin tint test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one on one side of the lip, the one neutral, and I've also got one cool. So I'll put one neutral on that side and one cool that side, so we can see the difference, because I think they're the ones most likely to match me. I didn't go for warm. I did actually go for a too warm to use as an outer definition, but we'll look at that one last. So here is 1N swatched on my hand, and this here is Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude, if you want a comparison, because I'm sure if you already have this you might be wondering how similar they are. So 1N is slightly darker than Iconic Nude. And this one here is Natasha Denona's I Need a Nude pencil, and this is in the shade Julia, which is very close to Iconic Nude, as you can see. Both of these are slightly more pink. So the 1N from Lisa Eldridge is leaning a little bit more brown, these two are a little bit more pink. So I'm going to put 1N on this side only. And I'm filling in here the line that has become so pale for me. And I'm using the side of the pen to bring it in to colour most of the lip. So this applies really, really easily. It's very creamy, very, very, very easy. And you can see already, I think, from this shade that it's not an exact match. It is a little bit dark, so I might need 0N if neutral is my match, because when I'm using neutral, I'm basing that on my skin, not necessarily my lip colours. So maybe cool would be a better match, which is why we're now going to try 1C. So here is 1C. So comparing this to 1N. And I've compared this here with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Medium 2. And they are pretty similar, to be fair. So this is the lightest in the cool. There isn't a 0 cool. Neutral is the only one that has a 0. So this is the lightest. So you can go up to 2 and 3 in the cool, which I definitely wouldn't want to do if I was looking for a colour matte. And this one here is Pillow Talk the original, so not medium. I think it is more of an exact match for Pillow Talk. So Lisa Eldridge 1C is a very good match for Pillow Talk. So now I'm going to apply this starting on the outer edges. And I think you can see straight away that this is a much better match for my actual lips. I think my mistake when I first saw these lip pencils is I always buy neutral with all my foundations, and generally anything that says neutral based I think will suit me because that's my undertone. But for my lips are quite a pink colour, as many lips are, and definitely this is a better shade for me. So I think if you have lips slightly like mine, you're going to prefer the cool, if you're looking for an exact match, that is. That is a really nice match, the one cool. Really nice. So there's one cool all over that side. I think that's a really nice match for my lips. I really like that. So it very much depends what you're looking to do here. But from testing out the 1N, I would be interested to try 0N, and that's why, like I said, I will pin a comment to the top of this the minute it arrives, and I'll let you know if that's a closer match with Iconic Nude for Charlotte Tilbury, because I think this leans a little bit darker than Iconic Nude on my lips. So now the third one I've got is 2W, which is the second in the warm range, and I'm going to show you now what that looks like. So this is 2W. It doesn't look like it's gone up an awful lot when you think this is 1N and this is 1C. This is 2W. Anyway, what I'm going to do with this is go around the outside edge. So if you've now got this as one lip colour, so imagine I'm wearing one, and you just want to have more definition on the outer edge of your lips, I'm going to try this one to see if it gives me that. So I think you can see a little bit more definition with that, but not an awful lot. So I think if you are looking for a colour where you want more definition, bearing in mind I've got 1C and 1N, I would go straight to 3C or 3N or 3W, because this is 2W and I don't think there's enough difference, to be honest. I'll just finish the top. So there we have 2W on the outside, which, like I said, you can't really see an awful lot of difference. So I'd definitely go up to 3W, 3C or 3N if you're looking for that extra definition and you've got a lighter shade on. But you might just be buying this for the one purpose, which is to match your lips and give you that my lips but better look. And if you have the same lip shade as me at the moment, I would definitely be recommending going for the 1C and maybe trying the 0N, because this is a little bit darker. I think that might be a closer match to the Iconic Nude if that's the sort of shade you're looking for. But what I can say here is it's given a lovely, it's a matte finish, but it's slightly luminous and very moisturising for a lip pencil. It doesn't feel too drying. But one thing to note here is I do always wear my lip oil at the start of every video. So about 2 hours ago I put my Delilah lip oil, which I always wear in the morning. And if I don't have that beneath when I put this on, it does make a difference. And I know that because when this arrived yesterday, I put this straight on and it did not feel as good on the lips. Like I couldn't do this. They just wouldn't move. They were too dry. So they are creamy and they are very easy to apply, but when you have it all over the lips, you will not be able to just feel like it's a hydrating lipstick. I couldn't anyway. But I can when I've got my lip oil on, because my Delilah lip oil honestly is my magic product. If you've seen my videos, you probably hear me mention it before, but I always put that on, and any drying lipsticks or slightly more drying lipsticks work so well. All mattes are hydrating when I have that beneath. I think this is a really good combination. I really like this. I did think it would be too drying when I tested it yesterday, but I wouldn't want to add a gloss or anything to this. I think it's got a beautiful finish. But one thing, when I had it on the back of my hand yesterday, it did not stay. So I think I will look at that now. Here are the 3 Lisa Eldridge. So I'm going to show you now. See how they just rub out. It's been on my hand for quite a while now. That's the 3 that are together in one line. So it's not disappearing. But it is rubbing off. So these will, going by that, I'd say they will last a reasonable amount of time, but they're not going to have, I don't think, the locked in effect you get from Charlotte Tilbury, which we can see now because this is all Charlotte Tilbury. And if you see, if I now swatch over the Charlotte Tilbury ones, see the difference? So it's a huge difference. So I think this one will need to be reapplied a lot more frequently, so that needs to be kept in mind. But for a very natural look, I really like it. It's very, very nice. Has it won me over from Charlotte Tilbury? I don't know. I love Charlotte Tilbury. It's very similar creamy formula to the Charlotte Tilbury, but not the longevity. But it is a lovely match for a natural look, so I do really like it. I've just remembered I have no highlighter on, and this is sitting right on my desk. So while we're talking about Lisa Eldridge, I'll just put a tiny bit of this on. This is her Elevated Glow highlighter in the shade Pink Moon. I'm just going to put a couple of dabs of this on my cheek here, a little bit on the nose. This is a perfect highlighter if you're looking for a more natural makeup look. Really, really pretty. This can be dabbed in with fingers, it will blend in nicely with fingers, but because I've put a powder on, there, can you see a really natural glow on the cheek from that? Beautiful. And then just a little bit down the nose. there we are. That was just missing from my look, so definitely recommend this highlighter. This has been out for some time now. Beautiful highlighter. So that's it from me for now. I will check in with you tonight when I'm ready to go to bed. So I will give you a full 8 to 9 hour check-in so you can see how this is lasting. But it's now been over an hour since I applied the skin tint, and there is no collecting in fine lines anywhere, no caking whatsoever. It's not moving. It shouldn't be after 1 hour, but anyway, it's not moving yet. I really like the finish, and I really like the way my lips feel and the way they look. Apart from I've got 2 different shades, so it looks a bit strange, but yeah, very happy so far. So I'll report back to you tonight and let you know. This is a very scatterbrained video, sorry, my dog's barking and all sorts of things interrupting me. I just forgot to mention before I carry on, this is gift with purchase at the moment on the Lisa Eldridge website. So you get this lovely blue denim bag. I've left the tissue paper inside so you can just see how beautiful this looks. So this is a really nice, I love the denim, I love the look of it. I want to put it on a shelf at the moment and not use it. I think it's gorgeous. So yeah, just wanted to show you that. I'll see you later. So it's now been pretty much bang on 8 hours, and this is how I'm looking. Now I've tried to keep this really real, so I have not touched my lips at all day, apart from just adding lip balm, which I always do, just clear lip balm. And I wanted to show you, it doesn't look great now, but the liner has actually stayed. So even though on the back of my hand it just rubbed off fairly, not completely, but almost completely, it has stayed on my lips all day. 8 hours. I'm quite gobsmacked about that, to be honest with you, because I barely get that from my reliable ones like Charlotte Tilbury. So considering the way it was on my hand and the way it rubbed, I'm stunned. It's still there. Now obviously it's come off the lips, and I would expect that. I've added the lip balms, I've had 2 meals, and I've had loads of different drinks throughout the day, so very surprised. But in that time my delivery arrived with the other 3 neutral pens, so I can actually quickly show these to you before the end of the video. So before we look at how the skin tint has done, I'm just going to quickly show you this. So I'm going to wipe off the edge here, hopefully without affecting my foundation too much, my skin tint I mean. And the one I wanted to try was 0N, to see if this is a closer match to my natural shade. So here is 0N, and here is how this looks on the back of my hand. And this is 1N, which I put on earlier today. So I'm now going to put on 0N. Straight away, that is much better. Now that's definitely a lot better than 1N, but I would still say the 1C Cool is much closer to my actual lips, but this is much better for me. Now my lip oil from this morning is not on my lips, so now you're going to see how this applies when I don't have the benefit of lip oil, when I fill my lips in with it. And straight away it doesn't feel anything like as creamy as it did this morning. It does when you line the lips, but when I fill my lips, it's not feeling as comfortable. Can you see how all the lines of my lips are really emphasised now, which they weren't this morning? And that's because it's just so much more drying without the lip oil. So for me personally, I would never use this without a lip oil underneath if I want to fill my whole lip. See, now I can't rub my lips together at all. It's way too dry and not very flattering at all, showing up all those lines. I really don't like that all over the lip, but as a liner it's perfect. It's the perfect amount of cream texture for a liner, and clearly it lasts, which I'm really pleased with. So this is 0N, lining and filling my whole lips, and this is definitely the best match for me out of the neutrals. I know for a fact that 3 and 4 would not work as a skin match because they're way too dark for me. But much as I like this, it is not a perfect match, and as I said in the beginning, 1C, the lightest in the Cool range, is definitely the match for me. That doesn't mean I wouldn't wear this though, because this is the sort of neutral look that I really enjoy. so it depends on my mood. But if we're going for this complete my skin but better vibe, it's 1C. Here we have N3 and N4. So it really shows the versatility of this range. So this is going to suit all skin types, and there's a really good chance that you're going to get a very good match. Now obviously these three are all showing up too dark for me as a perfect match, but that doesn't mean I can't use all three of these. N1 is definitely a bit more reddish compared to the others, which is a bit strange. And because we haven't seen 2N or 3N, just for interest, I will now line my lips. Now I did predict I would need to go up to at least 3 if I'm using the lowest of all of them, if I want to have my lips defined. So I'm going to use 3N on one side. I'm guessing 4N will be too much for me. So this is 3N. This is very, very deep as a liner for me. And now for 4N, which I think will be way too deep. Sorry, I've just totally confused myself. All these numbers are confusing me because the cools are 1, 2, 3, warms are 1, 2, 3, neutrals are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 3, which is the 4th. This is I've put the strongest one on. I was thinking in my head I was putting on I don't even know what I'm doing right now, to be honest with you. It's the end of the day. I have just put on 3N, which is the 4th strongest, the strongest of the neutrals, okay? So now I'm going in with 2N, which is the 3rd strongest of the neutrals. So here is N2 and here is N3, the 2 strongest, and we have N0 filling my lip. Now this for me does not work at all, it's way too strong, but it would work if I had a different shade. Now what this liner reminds me a little bit of is the Cherry Cola Lips trend that was going around. They were using deep browns or deep reds as the liner, and then you have a gloss. So I'm going to try a gloss to see how this finish works. Obviously this isn't Lisa Eldridge because I want to use the right sort of shade to match that look. So this one is the Lip Injection from Too Faced, and this is the shade Maple Syrup Pancakes. Because I think this could just be the right look. So there we are, that's how it looks using this lip gloss. I think this works quite nicely. So I think that shows the versatility, if you chose to go for the full range of neutrals, what you could get with it. I mean, what you could do maybe is go for the 0 and just the 2, and then you can play around with different looks. I don't think you need to get all 4 by any means. But if your lip shade is like mine and you were to use the 2 or 3 in the neutral, I think you would definitely need something like this lip gloss or maybe a deeper matte lipstick or something to work with it together. But I think it just shows there is versatility here, so you don't have to just get the one shade, but obviously it's entirely up to you. It depends what you've got in your collection at the moment and what might be missing. My experience of these today is there's longevity, they're very easy to apply, they're very creamy, and I can enjoy the very neutral look, the perfect match in the cool shade, and I'd be quite interested to maybe try a few more in the cool shades just to see how they work with giving more definition if I go up to the highest one. So yeah, very pleased with these. They definitely define and they definitely shape. So natural look or glam look, I think they work for both. So this has been another smash hit for me from Lisa Eldridge, because this this face tint has worn incredibly well for a face tint. Now the most important thing to know here is I have not got any primer on, I have not used setting spray, which I always do, and I hardly use powder, I just put a little bit. And you can probably see I've got quite an oily T-zone. Nothing works to stop that, nothing. I am testing out the Danessa Myrex primer tomorrow, which might stop it, so let's see. But nothing stops that. I always have to powder in the evening no matter what I've got on, whether it's a matte foundation, whether it's more of a luminous foundation or a skin tint. A skin tint I would expect to be quite greasy, and to be fair, the amount of grease coming through at the moment is minimal compared to some foundations. So And looking in my magnification mirror, the caking is virtually non-existent. There is the tiniest bit if you look right into the crease here, but the tiniest, probably the tiniest. I was testing out a foundation just yesterday, one of my most reliable ones, and I can still see a little bit with that. So the fact that I can hardly see any is fantastic. I did use it as a concealer today, and I didn't go in with another concealer. I did stick with just that. So I think it's held it well for that, but I would say it is starting to look a little bit cakey here, and I don't think it's enough coverage for a sort of really good, confident glam look, which is obviously not what we're looking for. But for a natural look, I think it does work as a concealer on me. I think it's ideal. I'm really, really amazed. I mean, it hasn't come off anywhere. I've been outside, I've eaten, it's 8 hours with no setting powder and no setting spray. Well, a little bit of setting powder, sorry, but no setting spray. And it hasn't moved. And when I look in different mirrors in different lights, I just think that I've got quite an airbrush look to my skin. Well, not airbrush, but very natural. Really like, wow, my skin looks so healthy. It really struck me. So this could easily go straight to the #1 of my skin tints, which is something I'm actually going to test out over the coming weeks. I'm going to try to decide what my top 5 skin tint list is, and that will be a video be coming out soon, because I think it's important to look at these skin tints that have come out over the last year or so with the weather changing, because these are just so perfect. You want that lightweight coverage that you just don't feel on your skin, and also we just want that quick look. I mean, this is something, because I like to wear makeup every day, if I was ill or if I was in a rush or I just wanted a sofa day and I just wanted to look fresh, this would just give it to me just by quickly rubbing it in like I do with my SPF. So I think this is really, really, really something special from Lisa Eldridge. I really do. And the lip liners. I didn't need them. I've got loads of lip liners. They're not better than Charlotte Tilbury. They're different to Charlotte Tilbury. But they're not better, but they're not worse. So if you don't have all of these shades, I would definitely recommend giving it a go. I'd certainly recommend trying to match your lip colour so you can see what you think. I think you'd be quite impressed. And also I looked at the Haus blush today. They've stayed in place without setting spray within reason, not completely, but they're still there. But then I'm not going to judge them too harshly, because they have gone down onto the tint without a lot of powder beneath, and they haven't had the setting spray. I like the formula of these blushes. I like the colour of one, not so much the other, as we saw. They are nice blushes, I do like them, but they haven't gone straight to the top of my favourites list. But I am over the moon with the Lisa Eldridge, and I can't wait to see what else Lisa has got coming, because if there's anything else coming out this year, the mascara I'm still using, it's literally right next to me here. I've probably got about 20 mascaras, and this one has not left my desk. Normally I test them out for about 2 weeks and then they go back into my mascara drawer, but this one is still here with me, still using it most days. It's what I've got on today. So Lisa is just killing it so far this year, and I cannot wait to see. I'm going to drop down the floor now. I cannot wait to see what comes next. So I hope you found this video helpful. I'd love to hear from you if you're buying anything from this new collection from Lisa, or have you already bought anything? What do you think? I'd love to hear from all of you, I really would. And if you have enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe. It really does help me ever so much, and I'm so grateful when you do. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for coming back. And I hope to see all of you for my next video. Take care everybody, bye!